Ask the Expert now. Diabetes has reached epidemic.
Way over here.
I'm over here. Epidemic proportions in the U.S.
It's estimated 1 in 3 Americans will have diabetes by 2050 if this trend continues. Disturbing numbers. Registered dietitian Lori Meyer joining us live this afternoon. Preventing diabetes. What do we do, Lori?
Well, that's huge, and that's really what we need to be doing. There are some things that you can do. Type 1, they stop making insulin. Type 2, they're making insulin, but the body can't utilize it. These tips will actually help all of them. It's not going to cure it, but it's actually going to help. So the first thing is you have to do some exercise every day. 30 minutes of exercise. It doesn't have to be strenuous, but do something. Get enough sleep. They're finding the people who get the least sleep have the greatest risk of developing type 2 diabetes. Also learn to relax, because those increased cortisol levels can also help your body produce diabetes later on in life. Take vitamin D. People who have the lowest vitamin D levels, greatest risk for both type 1 and type 2 diabetes. Check for gluten sensitivity. We're finding a lot of diabetics actually are gluten intolerant, and by removing gluten, they actually improve their blood sugar. And then, of course, avoid all the processed foods, because those are just going to make your blood sugars really hard to regulate.
Okay, things you should be eating. I was surprised a couple years ago. I heard cinnamon is actually something that's really good for helping bring your blood sugar under control.
It is, and that's something that we do know about. There's been actual research. They found that cinnamon has compounds in it that mimic insulin, so that actually makes your body's insulin work better, and it also acts like its own insulin, so we will reduce insulin levels. They find that if you take about a half a teaspoon of cinnamon a day, that's all you need. Put it in your coffee, your yogurt, your oatmeal. Other spices will also help, though. Cloves seem to have the same effect as cinnamon, and then I have turmeric and cumin and ginger, mustard. All of those spices we're also finding will actually help to lower blood sugar levels, so try to use more spice in the diet. We're also finding that vinegar is an extremely helpful thing. If we start or end a meal with a salad and you use vinegar, you end up having a much lower blood sugar level. And so vinegar would be a great thing to have. Get the more vegetables anyway. And then if you're using olive oil has special fatty acids in it and also antioxidants that not only help lower blood sugar, but it also prevents some of that oxidation or the damage that diabetes causes. Next, I have nuts. It seems like all nuts are good for diabetics, and they're recommending at least 5 ounces of nuts a week. So a handful, five days a week, any kind of nut is going to do it. Salmon in particular, any fish will be good. Diabetics tend to do much better on fish protein than any other type of protein. Again, it's going to help to improve the insulin response. I have oatmeal here, and oatmeal is one of those grains that we have found actually helps to lower blood sugar, and it also helps the body. There's a chemical in oatmeal that helps the body to regulate insulin production. So it's really can be beneficial for a diabetic. Here's the caveat. You can't put all the sugar on the oatmeal, and don't buy the instant that are already pre-sweetened.
And real quick, my two favorite on the end here,
well, if you're going to eat a fruit, eat blueberries, because there's really good data on blueberries. And then chocolate, we find that an ounce, 1 to 3 ounces of chocolate a day is actually very good. It should be 70% or higher.
And coffee?
And a cup of coffee. The people who drink the most coffee develop the least type 2 diabetes. And they're finding 3 cups a day can actually reduce the diabetes risk considerably. But the more coffee you drink, the better your type 2 diabetes.
All right, Lori, thank you. Got a question for our experts? Email them, asktheexpert at today'stmjford.com. You can also leave a voicemail number to call right there on your screen. Coming up.